Want to find out how to get better aim in the Division 2? Are you struggling with the raid just because you can't hit Boomer or you just can't hit your shots? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to have better aim and make sure you guys are getting those headshots with any gun in the game. So stay tuned and find out how. This is LaserBolt, and today I'm going to be talking about how to have better aim on the Division 2. But before I show you guys exactly how to get your aim on point, I have a question for you guys. If you had to rate your aim from 1 to 10, how good or how bad is your aim? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Now, this is going to be working for PC, even though PC players really don't struggle too much with the aim because their aim should technically be on point. But if you do, this still should be very helpful for you guys. Primarily, this is going to be for console players because one of the hardest reasons people are not completing the raid, it's because of aim. But this is not throwing any shade on anybody saying that, you have potato aim or you just can't aim at all. Sometimes it's a lot harder to aim on a console than it is on a PC. That's why you see a lot more PC completions on the raid than you would on the console. This is due to the fact that the aim system or the aim mechanic within the Division 2 has a bit of a hiccup when it comes aiming at NPCs or aiming at bosses. So the question becomes is how do I actually get better aim? In order to answer that question, we're going to be doing two things. First is setting up our controller to give us that better aim accuracy. And number two is following the technique that's required to make sure you're landing those crispy headshots. So let's go ahead and go to our settings tab and pull up our kind of menu. So let's head over down to controller. And in the controller menu, we're going to be seeing a couple of things that we're going to kind of be tinkering around with. The first thing we're going to be tinkering around with is the camera sensitivity. So the camera sensitivity is what's going to allow you to rotate and move things around in your peripheral view. So this is going to be primarily not too much focused on your aim, but this is primarily focused on how fast you're able to pick up a target. It's still very important because you want to make sure that you're able to look at the target and then get ready to aim at that target as soon as possible. So your camera sensitivity does play a vital role in your aim due to the fact that the faster you're able to detect a target, the faster you're able to aim and shoot it down. So I would say for camera sensitivity, you're going to want to go between a 7 or a 8. The best way to actually play around with this is set it to a 7, go to the firing range, see how that works out, and if you feel that the camera is too fast or too slow, just increase or decrease as you would like. The next one we're going to be taking a look at aim sensitivity. Now for aim sensitivity, what you want to primarily focus on is, do you hard scope a lot when you're playing the game? When I mean hard scoping is like, let's say you have an NPC coming at you, you shoot down that NPC and you automatically move your camera with the gun aimed to the different enemy. This is where you're going to want to make sure you tinker around with this. The reason why is some people do hard scope, and when you're hard scoping is when you're moving your weapon across to kill an NPC after killing another one. You want to make sure if you hard scope, you have that really high so you can move and transition to that second enemy as quickly as you can. If you don't hard scope and you actually aim at an enemy, you kill that enemy, you let go of the trigger, and then you go to the other enemy and you aim in, the aim sensitivity is not going to be playing such a vital role. It's going to be mostly your camera sensitivity. So that's the best way to figure out which ones you want to have higher and which ones you want to have lower. It's going to be all dependent if you guys hard scope or not. I feel like the very sweet spot for the aim sensitivity is a 8, so I would highly recommend you guys try that out and see if that works out for you guys. Now the scope sensitivity modifier is pretty much the same thing as the aim sensitivity. The only difference is that one is giving you the kind of attribute when you have a scope on your current weapon, or when you don't. I would definitely leave it at the same value as your aim sensitivity. They should all work out the same. Another key component that I want to recommend that you guys definitely do is making sure that your controller vibration is turned off. The reason why this is important is because sometimes when you're aiming or you're shooting something and your controller starts shaking, it might throw your aim off, so I would definitely set that to off. Now let's take a look at one of the things that I feel a lot of people haven't even tinkered with or haven't played with, and that is the left stick dead zone and the right stick dead zone. So the dead zone is pretty much how fast your controller is able to respond to your movement. So let's say you move left with your stick, it's how fast that's actually going to input into your, into your screen. Now, a lot of people, I think by default this is set to 6. I would recommend to actually set this one to 1. The reason why is you're going to want to make sure that one, it gives you that leeway where your controller might be messed up or you have a really good controller, it's still going to give you a perfect response time when you guys move your thumbsticks. The only time I would actually play with this or change these settings on from going from 1 to maybe 0 is if you have a really faulty controller or your controller's a little bit off, that it's not giving you that nice acquisition or that nice input when you're moving your thumbstick. I would definitely tinker around with this and move it to 0, or just increase it if your controller's messed up. I would believe the best setting for this is definitely leave it at a 1. If you do have it at a 6, bring it down to a 1, test it out, and see how much more effective your aim is going to be. And of course, the last thing I want to point out is double check that you have aim assist turned on. The reason why you want to have this on is because of what we're going to be talking about after we go through this system settings. All right, so after you have all of that configured, now it's time to talk about the technique you will be using in order to actually get this to work. So I'm going to play a couple clips here, and I'm going to show you guys a couple clips. You're going to see a clip of me shooting Boomer, and you're going to notice that my AR is all over the place. It's moving up, it's moving sideways. I'm not being able to control the stability on the AR. And I'm also going to be showing you guys a clip where you guys have been seeing a clip of me shooting Boomer where I probably missed like 1 or 2 shots, but every other shot was able to hit a headshot on Boomer. You're probably wondering, what's the biggest difference? What are you doing different in one scenario, and what are you doing different in another scenario? Well, this is what's going to make your aim a lot better. After you went ahead and changed all the controller settings, your aim should be on point. You're able to tinker out a couple things, but what you want to do, this is going to work with any weapon, either it be an LMG, assault rifle, SMG. It's what's going to make your aim a laser. So what you want to do is stop holding down the trigger. I know a lot of you guys, or the majority of people, when they aim their weapon or they're shooting someone, they'll hold down their trigger and let that weapon just fire out as much as it can, right? And what tends to happen is you're going to be getting a lot of recoil, and the aim assist that we have on console, you're going to negate it due to the fact that you're holding down that trigger and that aim assist is not being procced. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you're procking the aim assist as much as possible, because you want to get as much help from the game as you possibly can to get that aim and making sure that those shots are more headshots than anything in the game. So what you will want to do and change differently, instead of holding down the trigger button, you actually want to rapid fire, which consists of you tapping your trigger to making sure that your weapon is proccing the aim assist every time you're aiming. What the game does is every time you aim in scope, and you'll be able to test this out in the firing range, anytime you aim that scope, you'll always notice that the aim will always automatically go to the middle center of the body if you guys go to the firing range. That's because the aim assist is being triggered by that body shot. What you want to do is you want to make sure that that aim assist is always being triggered every time you're firing the weapon. The only way you're able to do this is you rapid fire the AR or LMG, which is tap that weapon to make sure that that aim assist is constantly being procced. One quick pro tip I want to give you guys: if you don't have trigger stoppers or you don't have an elite controller with the trigger stopper effect, definitely consider making a purchase. They're not that expensive. I think the trigger stoppers are like about $5 to $10. Or if you do have an elite controller, make sure you get that trigger stopper. This is going to allow you to make sure that you're firing that weapon like if you were just holding down the trigger, just that you're rapid firing with tapping the trigger. And there you guys have it. That is how you will be able to get that laser aim on point without having any difficulty. Let me know in the comment section down below if you had any of these settings messed up, and if after you changed them, if you feel that your aim has improved. Also, let me know if the rapid fire tap is actually working for you guys. Do you feel that you are landing more consistent headshots than you were before? I do hope that you did find this video helpful and informative. If you did, do me the huge favor, guys, drop a like on this video and share it with your friends, because that does help me out a lot. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, do consider subscribing. And if you do, make sure you hit that notification bell so you guys can get notified when Division 2 videos go live. If you are already a sub, make sure you guys double check as well that your notification bell is ticked so you could get notified when the videos go live as well. If you want to show more amazing love and support, do consider becoming part of the Bolt Nation. Super easy to enter, guys. All you gotta do is click the blue join button next to the subscribe button down below the video and join the Bolt Nation. The cool thing about it is that you'll be entered into monthly giveaways. In addition to that, you'll get amazing LaserBolt features in the channel that you won't get anywhere else. So do consider subscribing if you haven't so already. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget WGATAP, and I will catch you guys on the next video.